Bro, sometimes the loudest breakups don't come with slammed doors or screaming matches, they come with silence. You ever sit next to her and feel like your worlds apart? Like you're sharing the same space but not the same connection? That's not love taking a break. That's love quietly checking out. It just hasn't packed all its bags yet. And the scariest part, she won't tell you it's over, not with words. She'll keep the routine alive, still texting you good morning, still showing up, still smiling in photos. But if you look closely, the warmth is gone. The spark that used to make your chest light up when she walked into the room, fading. The quiet magic that made the smallest moments feel full, it's not there anymore. You'll start to notice it in the details, the way her sentences trail off with no feeling, how her hand doesn't instinctively reach for yours anymore, how her laughter feels distant even when you're the one who made the joke. She's still there, but emotionally, she's already on her way out, and most guys miss it, not because they're clueless, but because they're afraid. Afraid to accept what their gut already knows. So they hold on tighter, try harder, act like if they just love more, they can bring her back. But that's not how emotional distance works. So let me be real with you. I'm not here to give you generic relationship tips. I'm here to hand you the emotional truths, the stuff that hits when the connection is dying and you're still trying to resuscitate something that doesn't want to breathe anymore. Because if you don't face it, if you don't see the signs for what they are, you'll keep losing pieces of yourself trying to hold on to someone who already let go. Point 1. She stops needing your pride because you're no longer her emotional home. There was a time when you were the first person she wanted to impress. Whether it was something small like finishing a tough workout or something big like getting promoted, you were the one she shared it with. Your opinion, your pride in her, your reaction, it all meant something. It meant everything. You weren't just her partner, you were her biggest cheerleader, her safe space, her emotional home. But now, she's still achieving things, still evolving, still stacking wins, but you're not in the loop. You see it on her stories like everyone else. No text, no celebration together, no. Guess what happened today? And that shift hurts, not because she's doing better, but because she's doing it without you. Why? Because your approval no longer feeds her emotionally. The bond where she once sought your validation has weakened. Maybe she started looking for that reflection in someone else, or maybe she's simply outgrown the emotional connection you once had. Either way, you're not the mirror she looks into anymore. You're not the person whose pride lights her up, and that doesn't always mean cheating, but it does mean the emotional connection is fraying. When a woman no longer craves your pride, it's usually because she no longer sees you as her emotional center. And when that happens, it's not about a lack of love, it's about a lack of need. And once a woman stops needing to be seen by you, she's already halfway out the door, even if her body's still beside you. Quick break. Close your eyes for a second. Picture her, the girl you've always wanted. Feel what it would be like to actually have her. Now open your eyes. Because here's the truth, right now, you're invisible to her. You're getting outcompeted by guys with more money, better looks, higher status, and stronger game. You're playing a rigged game, and you're losing. But I've spent the last 35 years mastering this, studying, testing, and finally finding the secrets to get the girls I always wanted. You want to stop getting ignored? You want her chasing you? Then you need to wake up and act. Click the link in the comments if you are truly committed and take the first step toward becoming that guy. Few spots left. Be fast or miss out your last chance to make her yours. Let's get back to it. Point 2. She doesn't argue anymore. She disconnects. You remember when she used to get fired up over the little things? When she challenged you, pushed back, raised her voice, not to hurt you, but because she cared. Arguments weren't fun, but at least they meant the bond was alive. There was energy, there was passion. Underneath the frustration was someone fighting for the relationship. Now, she's quiet. She doesn't raise her voice, she lowers it. She doesn't push back, she shrugs. You bring up an issue, and instead of emotion, she gives you indifference. Her tone is flat, her words are brief. It's not calm, it's cold. It's not peace, it's emotional withdrawal. And bro, that kind of silence? That's scarier than any shouting match, because once she stops fighting, it doesn't mean she's healed. It means she's done. She's no longer invested in being understood, no longer reaching for connection. Her silence isn't about avoiding drama, it's about conserving energy she's no longer willing to spend on you. You'll feel it in your gut, that pit that tells you something's off. So you start trying harder, you initiate more conversations, you apologize faster, you tread lightly, hoping to bring back the fire, but it doesn't work because what you're chasing isn't her mood, it's her presence, and she's already pulled it back. When a woman detaches, it doesn't always come with slammed doors or long speeches. Sometimes it comes in the form of quiet dinners, blank stares, and short replies. You're sitting right next to her, but emotionally, she's somewhere else, and deep down, you know it. Here's the truth. Arguing means there's still something left to fight for. Silence means she's already made peace with walking away. She's not waiting for you to fix it. She's waiting to see if you even notice she's gone. Don't mistake her quiet for forgiveness. Don't mistake her distance for patience. When a woman stops arguing, it's not because everything's okay. It's because she no longer believes anything will change. Point 3. Her social life quietly shifts into a secret life, and you're the last to know. Remember when you used to know everything about her plans? Where she was going, who she'd be with, what time she'd be back? That wasn't about controlling her, it was about connection. You mattered in her world. You were part of her story, invited to be in the scenes she lived every day. But now, it's different. She tells you after the fact, if she bothers to tell you at all. I'm just going out with friends, she says, with no follow-up details, no names, no invites. The little updates, the casual check-ins, the shared excitement, all gone. You're no longer someone she thinks to include. This isn't about a casual night out, it's about a bigger, more dangerous shift. The movement from inclusion to exclusion, from being her partner to becoming an outsider. She's reclaiming space in her life, sure, but it's space where you no longer belong. Space she's carving out emotionally without you in mind. She's building a separate world, an emotional life where she doesn't need to explain herself, doesn't need your approval, doesn't need your presence. A world where she can feel and be without you. And when your presence starts feeling like an intrusion, like you're crossing a line just by asking, that's the clearest sign you've already been pushed out. It's the kind of distance that's invisible to most, but it's there, palpable and painful. The subtle silences, the missed calls, the lack of invitations, they aren't random. They're emotional barricades she's putting up. And while you're still trying to reach her, she's retreating further into that private life, one where you're no longer a priority. Point 4. She starts comparing you to vague others, and it's not about helping you improve. At first it might seem like casual remarks or constructive criticism. You'll hear her say things like, other guys would never act like this, or a real man would do better. It feels like she's pointing out flaws or trying to nudge you toward change. But here's the harsh truth. These comments aren't about growth or encouragement. They're projection, a way for her to justify the emotional distance she's already putting between you. She's building an invisible case in her mind, stacking up reasons why she's pulling away, and you're the one under scrutiny. Whether she's comparing you to an ex, a friend's boyfriend, or some idealized image she's crafted from stories or social media, it's a sign that she no longer sees you, the real you, as enough. When the language shifts from specific concerns to vague comparisons, it's brutal. It means she stopped trying to connect with the person right in front of her and started holding you up against someone else who seems better on paper. That someone else might not even be real, but in her mind, they're already winning. And make no mistake, this is a red flag. Because when she begins weighing you against an imagined alternative, she's emotionally halfway out the door. It's less about fixing things with you and more about justifying why she's emotionally checked out. The man she once wanted is fading, replaced by a shadow of disappointment fueled by comparison. Point 5. Intimacy turns from heartfelt connection into a carefully measured strategy, and that's when the cracks start to show. This one hits harder than most because intimacy is supposed to be the glue, the moment where two souls meet and feel safe and close. But when she starts pulling away emotionally, that closeness begins to unravel. You'll notice the small but unmistakable shifts. The hugs feel less warm, almost obligatory, like she's reminding herself to go through the motions rather than wanting to. The tenderness you once shared becomes something distant, as if she's checking a box on a list rather than expressing genuine affection. Sex, which once was the ultimate expression of trust and passion, starts to feel transactional. It's less about connection and more about maintenance, a way to keep things from falling apart while the emotional gap widens in silence. Sometimes it's a distraction, a way to avoid dealing with the uncomfortable truth that you're drifting apart. Other times, it's just habit, performed without enthusiasm or presence. When you try to reach out physically, you'll feel it, that hesitation, that subtle pullback. It's not outright rejection or fear, but something more complicated, resistance. Her body might be there, but her mind and heart are elsewhere. She's not lost to you completely, but she's no longer present in those moments. You're touching a shell, not the woman who used to light up when she saw you. This shift is brutal, because intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional vulnerability, trust, and desire all wrapped together. When it becomes a strategy rather than a connection, it reveals a deeper fracture. It means she's protecting herself from feeling too much or too close because something inside her has already started to shut down. And the hardest part? This is the moment when many guys realize they're losing her, but it's too late to fix what's already broken. Intimacy should bring you closer, but when it turns cold and mechanical, it's a glaring sign that the emotional foundation is crumbling beneath the surface. And if you don't catch it early, you might lose her entirely. Point 6. She starts getting irritated by your peace. The very calmness that used to comfort her now feels like a trigger. This one might catch you off guard. Remember how your steady, calm presence used to be her safe haven? The place where she could breathe easy, knowing you were grounded no matter what storm was raging around you. Well, when she's emotionally drifting, that same calmness suddenly becomes a source of frustration for her. She might accuse you of being too relaxed, too detached, or even not caring enough. Why does this happen? Because your peace acts like a mirror reflecting her own inner chaos, the doubts, insecurities, and emotional turmoil she's trying to avoid or suppress. Instead of facing that discomfort, she lashes out at the one constant in her life, you. It's easier to blame your calm for her unrest than to admit she's out of sync with herself. When a woman is emotionally distant, your consistent, grounded energy no longer reassures or stabilizes her. Instead, it highlights how far she's drifted from balance. And rather than owning her feelings or addressing what's really going on inside, she projects that unrest onto you. Suddenly, you become the problem, just for being steady, just for not getting caught up in the chaos she's feeling. This shift isn't about you failing to be supportive, it's about her struggling with her own emotional turbulence and pushing against the very thing that could help anchor her. Recognizing this dynamic is crucial. When your calm triggers irritation, it's a sign she's wrestling with internal conflicts. And if she can't work through those, your peace might feel more like a wedge than a bridge between you two. Point 7. She praises you in public, but disconnects completely in private. This one's a brutal reality check. Out in the world, with friends, family, or online, she talks about you like you're the perfect guy. You'll hear her say things like, "He's such a good man," or "I'm lucky to have him." It sounds like admiration, even love. But behind closed doors, it's a different story. She's cold, distant, almost robotic in her behavior toward you. The warmth and connection you once shared feel like a fading memory. This isn't just mixed signals, it's emotional image control. She's carefully managing the narrative she presents to the outside world, keeping things looking perfect and picture ready. But inside, the relationship is quietly unraveling. This public praise isn't genuine flattery, it's a delaying tactic, a way to soothe her own guilt about the emotional distance that's already taken root. She's praising an idea, the you she wants others to see, not the real experience of you anymore. It's like she's holding on to a version of the relationship that's easier to explain and defend, even though the actual connection is slipping away. And this disconnect between public admiration and private coldness is one of the clearest signs she's emotionally checked out long before she physically leaves. Point 8. She forgets how to be soft with you. And that's the most heartbreaking sign of all. There's a unique kind of magic in softness, the tenderness that once wrapped around your relationship like a warm blanket. It's the little things, the gentle smile that greeted you after a long day, the way her eyes lit up just by seeing you, the quiet comfort of her voice when she whispered your name. That softness is the soul of connection, the emotional home where love grows and thrives. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, that softness begins to fade. At first, you might not notice. Her warmth becomes a bit more distant, her smiles less frequent, her touch less eager. Her voice that once carried affection now feels sharp, guarded, sometimes even cold. Her eyes lose their spark, trading light for a flat, empty gaze. The energy she brings into your shared space feels heavier, like a storm rolling in, weighing down the air between you. She's still there, physically, but emotionally, the woman you fell for is slipping away. The one who used to brighten your world with her presence, who made you feel alive and understood, is becoming a stranger. And it's not about one fight or a momentary lapse. It's a slow, creeping shift, a silent withdrawal that chips away at the foundation you built together. When she stops being soft with you, it's not just frustration or annoyance, it's a profound sign that she no longer feels safe with you, that the emotional sanctuary she once found in your arms has closed its doors. Vulnerability, openness, trust, these things have withered, leaving behind walls where there was once warmth. This loss of softness is one of the most painful signals that her heart has begun to drift. And bro, this is the truth many don't want to admit. No woman just suddenly flips a switch and emotionally or physically cheats. It's never an instant decision. It's a slow fading, a quiet unraveling of connection and affection. The distance grows before the departure. So here's the real question you've got to ask yourself. Is she still here with me? Not just physically, but truly present in heart, mind, and soul? Don't waste your time chasing answers from someone who's already checked out emotionally. Don't burn your energy begging for a love that's been replaced by coldness and confusion. The more you try to fix this alone, without her willingness to meet you halfway, the more you lose pieces of yourself. Your confidence, your joy, your sense of worth begins to fade. Sometimes the fight isn't about holding on to her. It's about holding on to yourself. It's about realizing when the love you're chasing is no longer there to catch, when the person you once knew has already let go, and trying to pull her back only pulls you apart. You deserve so much more than this slow fade. You deserve a partner who chooses to be soft with you, who stays vulnerable, who fights for the love and connection you both promised. Don't settle for less than that. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If this message spoke to you or gave you something to think about, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new drop. I've got more real talk, more growth, and more power coming your way. So stay locked in. And if you're going through something right now, just remember, your silence can say more than 1,000 words ever could. Take care of yourself, keep rising, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.